Hey guys, um, I just feel very emotional today, and actually, 3 months from now, or 3 months and a week, it's going to be my cousin's 7-year anniversary that he's passed, and I'm just an emotional wreck right now. It's been 7 years, and it feels like it just happened, and don't mind the noise in the back. I'm just like, how can I say, I'm so emotional. It sucks. You know, the last thing, um, the last time I talked to him, was a week before he passed, or 2 weeks before he passed. And at that time, he had sent me a chain letter, back when you used to do chain letters on your phone. And, and it said, if you love this person, call them and scream out peanut butter. Scream out peanut butter and hang up. And she was so funny. And he sent me the letter, the chain message. And I was like, what? And then he calls me. And he must have screamed peanut butter at the top of his lungs. Because I was like, what the fuck? And then he hung up. And then he texted me and he put ha 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 ha, like I kid you not, like maybe like 4 or 5 lines. It is like ha 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 ha. It was so funny. But that was the last time I talked to him. That was the last time I ever messaged him. He passed away on March 20th, 2010. I'm sorry guys, I'm like so emotional, I'm crying, I can't even talk right. He died March 20th of 2010. He bled out. He had his tonsils removed. He had surgery the day before, and the next morning he bled out. And then they went to the hospital, and my uncle was there watching him bleed out. And my uncle was there watching him bleed out, and he couldn't help him. He couldn't help him. There was nothing he could do. And that day, I remember very well, we were at my mom and I, we were at her beauty shop. My mom was cutting hair, and I was sitting at the desk, just organizing everything, and we get a call from my uncle, and I answered, and he was like, talk to your mom, like, worried. I was like, okay, and I gave my mom the phone, and all you could hear is my uncle saying, did you talk to dad? Did you talk to dad? Mentioning my grandpa. I was scared. I was like, what? I was like, what the hell? My mom's like, what happened? What's going on? Is Dad okay? Is Dad okay? And then he goes, it's not Dad. It's not Dad. It's Joshua. I remember when I heard that, I heard it very clear. He goes, it's Joshua. I remember I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe at all. It was, it feels like that same day. I remember feeling this big ass knot in my throat. And all I can remember saying is, Mom, what's going on? What's wrong with Josh? And my uncle was talking to my mom, and he was screaming. And he was like, Joshua's gone. He's gone. They talked for maybe like 2 more minutes or so. And my mom hung up. And she was, I was hearing everything. And all I can remember is I need to call my stepdad. I need to call my dad. And I need to tell him that we need to go. Because my mom couldn't talk. And it was so hard for me to even say anything. So my mom, we actually had a client. And the good thing she was already done doing their hair. And we closed down the shop, everything, and we my mom headed out to the shop, to my dad's shop, and I headed out home to tell my brother and my sister. This was on a Saturday. Saturday to be exact. And all I can remember is we need to hurry up and drive to Texas. We need to hurry up. So we did. We got home. We were waiting for the family because the family we were all supposed to travel together. And my grandpa calls my mom, you know what, we can't drive like this. We have to get our thoughts together and let's just wait till tomorrow. And all I can remember is telling my mom, no, we gotta go now. We have to go now. My uncle needs us there. He needs us there. So we did. It was 5 o'clock. We went to go. We hadn't even eaten anything. We didn't even eat anything. And I remember we ended up going to Subway, got our food. We sat down at the table. And it was the longest time spent at that table with silence. I remember not being able to eat. I remember feeling so numb. And we got our shit together. We got clothes together. I don't remember what I even took because I just remember throwing all my clothes into a backpack. And I was actually in college during that time, and I was like, I have to get out of here. I can't, I didn't have time to call because it was a weekend, so I didn't have time to call and tell them, you know what, I can't miss it. I was always there. I never missed a day during college, during the time that I was in college. And I wasn't thinking about anything anymore about that. And Excuse me. My God, my nose was watery. And I remember just getting there, we sat down, tried to eat because we couldn't. And then when the family was like, well, we're not traveling like this. We're just gonna have to wait it out until tomorrow. We were like, fuck that. We're leaving. We're leaving. So my dad switched the tires on the truck because my mom has an Avalanche on 16s on 8 no wait what's six, on 18s or 20 inch. I don't remember. No, 20. No, what the fuck? It's 26s on the Avalanche. I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking. She has 26s, so we switched them out for regular tires, and it was so funny that the freaking tires were from my dad's Cadillac. That shit was hilarious. So we're like, okay, whatever, we're gonna head out. I remember just not sleeping at all. I remember me and my mom just like staying up the whole time. Me and my mom must have drank so much energy drinks. Well, she drank a lot of those frappuccinos. I had, if I remember correctly, I had two rock stars, a NOS, and two rock stars, a NOS, and a Monster. Every stop that we did, I always got something. So I was just like shaking the whole time. I couldn't breathe. I remember just trying to stay awake. And then we would pull over and my mom's like, I'm tired. I need to sleep. I was like, okay, we'll get some sleep. I just knew at that point, we just had to stop because we couldn't keep driving. And every time we would stop, like neither one could sleep. So we would stop maybe for like 10, 15 minutes and then we would just think about things and try to process everything that was going on because we were still in shock. We didn't know what to think or anything. So the drive from California to Corpus is roughly about 24 hours. And we made it there like 19 hours, I think it was. We just drove straight through it, and it was rough. It was rough because when we got there, the next day, it was just like we didn't know what we didn't know what to do. And as soon as we saw my uncle, it was like the hardest thing ever. All his friends were there, and all of Joshua's friends, godparents, and neighbors, and we were there. We were the first family members that were there. And sorry guys, I got a message. It's like 12 o'clock in the morning right now. we got there, everybody was there, and we were trying to process everything, because the next morning everything was gonna get started, all the planning, for the viewing, for the ceremony, for the cremation. And I kid you not, it was the longest week of my life. Every day, everybody was running on a few hours of sleep. I remember just sleeping 2 hours, because I was getting his video ready for the viewing. I was getting the video ready and all the pictures and baby pictures and all that stuff together. So I remember doing that. It was, I think that was one of the hardest jobs that I had, was just getting all our memories together and putting them on a video. I did, I added music and all that stuff, and it was really hard. It was so hard. It was too, I was so tired because not only that, we had, we drove through, 20 hours or whatever, and no sleep, and running on like 2 hours of sleep every single day. It took a toll on everybody. Nobody was able to really eat. And then for the viewing, they had asked people if anybody wanted to say words or anything. And the first viewing that we had, I just couldn't. I remember, because he was an open casket, I remember just feeling his hand, and I remember just feeling his hand. It was so cold. It was so, so cold. And I was just waiting for him to be like, "It's a joke, guys, I'm okay." But it never happened. It never happened. And it never happened. So that first viewing happened. I fell asleep. Oh my god, my nose is like so watery, guys. I fell asleep during the viewing. I just remember falling asleep during the viewing, and I guess it was just my mind of wishing that he was there, that I remember during the time that I fell asleep, I can see him just being there, and it was like everything was so empty. There was nobody around, and it was just me and him. And then I remember waking up, and I was like, "This is real. This is real. This is where we're at." So the next day, we had our second viewing. We had the second viewing, and that was the day that I gave my speech, and I asked God, why? Why did he take him? Why him? He was so young. It was just, he was young. He was too young. It wasn't his turn. And I remember saying in my speech, God gives us people so we can learn to love. And once he knows that we've learned, he is entitled to take them whenever he can and whenever he wants. So that happened. But it was so funny because we had one, was it that day or the day before? We had like a private one. No, it was that day. They were gonna take him to the crematory to cremate him. And my cousin had this habit of always being late, all the time. And they were getting his casket ready, and his friends were carrying him out to the hearse. I don't remember. I don't even know how to say it. And it didn't want to start. And they were probably like 10 minutes before it was time for him to get cremated, and it did not want to start. And everybody was like, "What the hell?" Like, everybody was outside, and I just started laughing. And I'm like, And they're just looking at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, oh, I was like, well, there you go, Josh being late all the time. So I think that was the only thing that we got out of it, was just that laughter, because it was so freaking funny. Like, it was all him. It was just him. So I remember we just waited a few days, and then we got and then we had to leave. It was so hard. It was the hardest. It was the hardest goodbye, because we knew we were leaving my uncle and my cousin, and we knew that we had to go back to continue living our lives, while we had to leave them two behind. We had to leave them behind. I think that was the hardest. That was the hardest part, was having to leave them behind and knowing that they were gonna be there with the pain, and we couldn't be there to help them. So this is like 21 minutes in already, and I'm just like, I'm not even done. I'm so sorry, guys, that it's so long. You guys can watch the whole thing if you want. You don't have to. But anyways, on the next year in March, I'm so happy that I'm actually going to be able to go and celebrate, because every time that they had a celebration for him, every year I couldn't go, personal reasons and stuff, and work and all that. So I this time I'm making it my mission to go, and I need to be there, and I want to celebrate. So I'm gonna do that, and that's it. But anyways, sorry I took so long, guys. It's like 22 minutes in, but I just kind of wanted to go in here and express myself, because I was feeling a little out of whack. But love you guys. I will see you guys very soon, probably tomorrow, or today, because I have things going on, and I want you guys to be part of it. So I will see you guys then. But yeah, no more crying. Bye.